Hey all. Let's go through that. Dreams I'll Never See, which I don't know, I can't say I prefer it to the Allman's version because you can never improve on anything that Dwayne did, in my opinion. But this is pretty close. And if you listen to the guitar solo, he does a kind of a tribute to Dwayne's solo, which is kind of neat. At least that first guitar solo. Anyway, let's go through it, right? So if you think of a C right here, bring it up. Think of it like this, like C brought up to D, right? But you're only doing those two strings, the A at 5, D at 4. So you start with it suspended, both of them at 5, A and D. Then D goes down 1 to 4. Then the whole thing goes down here to 3, like a C. Then back up. So they're just those two strings. And then it goes into the riff. Now there is a very specific way he does that. It's something to work on and master, just the technique of that. First off, you're muting. Not fully muted, but halfway at least. So it starts with it on. Like. You get a little bit of in between it. Comes with a vocal. Just one more morning, right? I have to wake up with the blues. I can't sing and play. Put on my walking shoes. So you go through a bunch of these. Climb up from the hilltop, babe. See what I could see. This little part. Now that one. Remember we did Hot Blooded. Remember we did those chords, a G with the G string open. Like a bar G, but the G string is open. And then you did the same thing down here at F with the G string still open. If you listen closely, that's the chord he does here. So he goes cause I'm hung up, right? G. It's more of a G5. You really want to get the E, A, and D strings. So, thumb over the top, E at 3, A, D at 5, G open. You hear that chord in Highway Star, My Woman from Tokyo, Junior's Farm. So G. That F with the G string open. Then the Hendrix chord. E7 sharp 9 up here. C. C5. C5. Got that little, just like on here. You get a low, you get an open string in between them. This one, B flat. That's the, I don't know, it's like a Hendrix A7 sharp 9 maybe. A string open, D, 5, G6, B and E at 8. Let's back into it. So he does the pull myself together. So on this one, he does just like he did in the intro. Get back, same thing, like this, like you're doing a C, just those two strings. Then back in. I got my dream to remember. And now you're back in the. Sharp line, C, B flat, and then A7 sharp. Then that one solo. Maybe we'll do a separate lesson on the solo. But coming out of the solo, right? During the solo, this one's still doing this the whole thing. Soloing over the top of that. I think it does go back to one of those between the two solos. During that part, right? That's when it hands it off. The one guy hands off the solo to the other guy, and he takes the other one. So when the other guy's going, you're doing, and then it gets, eventually at the end of the solo, gets in. Right. So coming out of the solo, you're doing this stuff. At the tail end of it. So it's, that's D. Right? Except you're doing that typical sort of open G, if this were open G, Rolling Stone suspension. So D, G, B at 7, 1 up on the B string, 2 up on the D string. 7, 9 on A. Back to that A. Back to that D. That's that C, suspend the B up to the 3rd fret. And back to it again. And then it does. I think that's actually 2 guitars. One doing, and the other one doing. But you could do it as octaves with one guitar. C down 1 fret to B. So that's A, 3, G5. Up to a D here, octave. 5, 7. The second time it goes down to D. And then back. Sorry. And then you're back to. You know, it comes back for the last verse. And the only thing is at the end. suddenly. It ends before you think it would, which is great, by the way. So that's basically the whole thing, and a good one to work on because that. Between the A and the D string. Good luck with that one. Fun one to play.